Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, and fellow champions of sustainable energy solutions. It is both a privilege and a profound pleasure to stand before you today at Geothermal India Pivot 2023, an event that serves as a beacon of hope, innovation, and collaboration. Just like Dr. Mehta was mentioning to us, that the university is collaborating with all these different institutions, not only in India, but overseas too. Our gathering embodies the theme of building bridges, and as we convene here, we embark on a journey of exploration, connection, and transformation, a journey that promises to shape the future of energy in India and beyond. This conference is more than mere gathering. It represents a pivot moment in our shared commitment to pivot towards geothermal energy. It symbolizes a turning point, a conversion of ideas, and beginning of a transformative journey. Globally, geothermal energy production has soared, measured not only in megawatts, but in the millions of megawatts that power our world. This remarkable growth underscores the recognition of geothermal energy as a dependable, clean, and sustainable source of power. The global shift towards geothermal energy goes beyond electricity generation. It includes direct utilization for heating, cooling, agriculture, and various industrial applications. This transformation highlights the adaptability and growing importance of geothermal energy in reducing carbon emissions. Geothermal spas and hot springs have been used for centuries for therapeutic benefits. The naturally heated mineral-rich waters found in geothermal springs are believed to have healing properties. These waters often contain minerals such as sulfur, silica, and magnesium, which are known for their potential health benefits. Incorporating the medicinal use of geothermal resources into wellness and healthcare practices aligns with the holistic and sustainable approach to health and well-being. It showcases another dimension of the multifaceted benefits of geothermal energy, further underscoring the importance in our lives. Enhanced geothermal systems represents the frontier in geothermal technology innovation. It is an innovation that opens very new horizons. EGS allows us to extract heat from previously untapped sources, expanding the reach and potential of geothermal energy. It serves as a bridge between the known and the unexplored. In India, geothermal energy remains an untapped resource. Its inclusion in the Indian energy mix bridges the gap between energy diversity and sustainability. It provides an opportunity to diversify our energy resources, reduce reliance on fossil fuels, and pave the way for a cleaner and more resilient energy ecosystem. The absence of a dedicated geothermal energy policy in India is a very big challenge. Without a comprehensive framework, geothermal energy remains dormant. Advocacy for the development of a robust geothermal policy is our shared responsibility, ensuring that India harnesses this abundant resource. Geothermal energy is not just about power generation. It is a catalyst for gender upliftment. By providing clean cooking solutions, reliable electricity, and economic opportunities, geothermal energy bridges the gender gap, empowering women and fostering economic independence and gender equality. The capacity building efforts of UNESCO's GRO-Geothermal training program, which is funded by the Iceland government, exemplify the spirit of international cooperation and knowledge sharing. The program focuses on providing education and training to professionals and geothermal enthusiasts from around the world. It offers courses, workshops, seminars on various aspects of geothermal energy, including exploration, drilling, reservoir management, and sustainable utilization. It serves as a bridge between nations, fostering knowledge and capacity building in the field of geothermal energy. The third polar region, which is very remote mountain areas, is home to unique challenges, including limited access to energy resources. In these distant and often harsh terrains, geothermal energy offers a lifeline, a bridge to development, economic progress, and a better quality of life. It transcends geographical barriers and ushers in a new era of opportunity. Ladakh, the land of high passes, is renowned for its breathtaking landscapes, including high mountain ranges, deep valleys, and pristine lakes. Amidst its natural beauty, Ladakh holds significant energy resources that can play a pivotal role in shaping its sustainable future. Ladakh boasts abundant sunlight due to its high altitude and clear skies. This region receives ample solar radiation throughout the year, making it the most ideal location for solar energy generation. Solar photovoltaic panels and concentrated solar power systems can harness this energy to generate electricity and meet local energy needs. Ladakh is also characterized by strong and consistent winds, especially in the high altitude regions. Wind turbines can harness this energy to generate electricity. Wind power has the potential to complement solar energy and provide a reliable source of clean energy. The water bodies of Ladakh, like Shyok River, Suru River, and Indus River, offer great potential for hydropower generation. Mini and micro hydropower projects can be developed to harness the energy from these flowing rivers, providing electricity to remote areas and contributing to the region energy mix. Ladakh possesses geothermal energy potential due to its location in a seismically active zone. The Earth's heat from the region's geothermal reservoirs can be tapped to generate electricity and provide direct heating for various applications. Developing these indigenous energy resources in Ladakh can enhance the region's energy security. It reduces dependence on long-distance transmission of electricity and fossil fuels, ensuring a reliable and stable energy supply. Ladakh's unique ecosystem is vulnerable to the impacts of climate change. Utilizing renewable energy sources like solar, wind, and geothermal power reduces greenhouse gas emissions and contributes to the preservation of region's fragile environment. Remote villages and settlements in Ladakh currently face challenges in accessing reliable electricity. Harnessing these energy resources can bring electrification to these areas, improving living standards and enabling economic development. Ladakh is a popular tourist destination, attracting travelers from around the world. The adoption of sustainable energy practices can enhance region's appeal of an eco-friendly tourist destination, contributing to its economy. Leveraging clean and renewable energy sources aligns with Ladakh's aspirations to achieve carbon neutrality. Replacing traditional fossil fuels with these resources can significantly reduce Ladakh's carbon footprint. The development of these energy resources in Ladakh can drive innovation in clean energy technologies, in which universities can play a major role. It can serve as a testing ground for new solutions and systems that can be applied in other regions facing similar kind of energy challenges. Ladakh's energy resources hold immense promise, not only for the region's sustainable development, but also a model for other mountainous regions in the Hindu Kush Himalayan region. By harnessing solar, wind, hydropower, and geothermal energy, Ladakh can build a bridge to a cleaner, greener, and more energy-secure future. This endeavor embodies the spirit of Geothermal India Pivot's 2023 theme, Building Bridges, as it bridges the gap between Ladakh's energy potential and its environmental responsibilities. Climate change stands as one of the greatest challenges of our times. Geothermal energy, with its low carbon footprint and reliability, emerges as a potent ally in our efforts to combat climate change. It bridges the divide between our aspirations for a sustainable future and the reality of climate impacts. The 2023 United Nations Climate Change Conference, or Conference of the Parties, or more commonly referred to as COP28, is a pivotal platform for addressing climate change. Our discussions here today at the Geothermal India Pivot 2023 are integral to the broader discourse at COP28. By underscoring the transformative potential of geothermal energy, we bridge the gap between intentions and concrete climate actions. In conclusion, Geothermal India Pivot 2023 is not just a conference. It is a call to action. It is a bridge that connects ideas, policies, technologies, and communities. As we explore the multifaceted aspects of geothermal energy, let us remember that it is not just about generating power, it is about empowering lives, preserving our environment, and bridging the gaps between potential and reality, between challenges and solutions, and between aspirations and achievement. Thank you, and may our collective endeavors at the conference help us build bridges to a greener, cleaner, and more equitable future for India and the world.
Ladies and gentlemen, today's my talk will be about the various researches, various initiatives taken in Ladakh in geothermal energy. Ladakh, as you know, is nestled in the Himalaya and Karakoram ranges, and it is said the nature, the God has kept Ladakh high, dry, and in cold. Is it so? Yeah. So many people know, but at the same time, nature has given too many things to Ladakh. I will go back by the geological transformation, that how Ladakh has come into being. And most of the students must have studied the tectonic forces, the formation of Himalaya, where about 70 million years ago, the Indian plate, the fast moving Indian plate, subdued under the Eurasian plate and crushing the Tethys Sea into the what we call as Himalaya, the Great Himalaya. And you all in Ladakh are part of this great event of the earth. The Indian plate is still moving very fast. Can you believe what is the speed that it is moving? It is moving with a speed of 6.7 centimeter per year. So you can just imagine, after 10 million years, this area will be transported or moved about 1,500 kilometers from the present position. And Himalaya is still rising at a rate of 5 millimeter per year. So all these tectonic forces working on the earth and inside the earth has transformed this geological future of Ladakh into an area which is full of activities, full of challenges, full of problems. And at the same time, it gives a lot of opportunity for us to harness the various forces of nature, that is geothermal energy. So geothermal energy can be harnessed in many ways. People only think that it can be used only through electricity. That is using the hydrothermal manifestation. Ladakh has more than 100 hot springs, and major among them is Puga Valley, Chumathang, and Panamik. These are the three main areas where there's a lot of manifestation and a lot of research has gone into it. I will go into detail after that. Second is called granite plutonic. Granite plutonic is, what is plutonic? What is Pluto? Is the goddess for the earth, inner earth. Therefore, we say plutonic. And we say plutonic rocks. Plutonic rocks are the rocks formed beneath the earth. Huge mountains. What we see here in mountains is just tip of the iceberg. The foundation, the main body lies beneath the earth. And these plutonic rocks are connected to the asthenosphere or the molten magma inside the earth. And these are very, very hot and in a partial molten state. We have so many geological formation in Ladakh where we can extract this energy out of these plutonic rocks. And third is geothermal ground source heat. If you dig inside the earth, the temperature is always high. After 5 feet, water doesn't freeze in Ladakh. Even in the peak winter, when the temperature goes minus 40, still that we can extract the heat and use it for various purposes. So these are the three, and we have something called advanced geothermal, where you can track the heat from the earth. And for that, we have to understand the system. We have to have many research that has to go into it. First and foremost is geological survey. Geological survey is to understand what are the rock formation, what is the potential, which are the places where we can extract the geothermal. And second is geophysical studies to understand what is the physical properties of each region. Until and unless you have the complete map of Ladakh, the geographical understanding of each and every region, we cannot extract anything. It is just like, going into dark and trying to find something. We have to have complete understanding of the geology, geophysical, and after that, once we come to an area that these are the prospective area, we have to explore. And first of the foremost thing is to dig inside. We can't dig the whole earth, therefore we drill. So we have to have the exploratory drilling, and that was done by Geological Survey of India way back in 1950s and 60s, and you can find so many wells in Ladakh, especially in Puga Valley, which was being drilled and kept. And fourth is most important thing of all, as Honorable CC has said, environmental impact assessment. Understand the pros and cons of any development. For example, I can give an example to you. We have been drilling water for groundwater in Ladakh off and on, and we have been using it for our domestic, for our industry, especially hotels, restaurants, and we have been putting all the sewages back into our ground untreated. So total production of sewage in Ladakh is 8.5 million. 8.5 million. That means 85 lakh liters of sewage is pumped back into our groundwater lake. So you just think what you are drinking. We didn't have any impact assessment. Now all the well springs everywhere, almost 80% of Ladakh, in Leh especially, is polluted. You can't drink your own drilled water. So therefore, impact assessment is extremely important. And the tourism that we are having, we have to have an impact assessment to see how to regulate, make policy, so that our tourism is sustainable. Similarly, for any projects, Government of India has made mandatory to have an impact assessment, environmental and social impact assessment, how a project will benefit and how they will affect the environment and the society. At the same time, we have to come up with a management system so that to undo the damages that can be had on the environment as well for human society, for a sustainable development. And another important thing is that, okay, everything is fine. We have to go for a feasibility study, whether it will be feasible or not. Like ONGC, when they came, they had a MOU with LHDC, gave all the clearances, and I was instrumental giving environment clearance from the ministry. And after some time, there was issue. There was a lot of huge issue, lot of hue and cry. When the drilling happened, after 40 meters, there was a blowout. And at that point, they had no option but to shut it down. So now, almost 2 years, things have not been going as per the expectation of Hill Council. that there was a problem not because of other things, mainly because of technology. We have to bring the drill that is too heavy, and there's no the what called bridges along the Ladakh cannot take the load of those drills. So therefore, it has been stuck until unless you have an infrastructure, you cannot have a project. Just thinking that we have potential, we have the budget, and we have the funds, we cannot go until unless you do the complete feasibility study, where to bring the technology, where to bring the infrastructure, where to bring the funds. So therefore, feasibility study is extremely important. And the last that is important for the understanding taking any project is collaboration. We cannot do everything ourselves. We cannot have all the technology, all the expertise. We need to collaborate. It is a norm throughout the world. For any project to be success, you have to work in a team manner. So we have to look at technology, we have to build the project, we have to see the infrastructure, we have to see the fund and the policy, and everything need to collaborate and make any project a success. A lot of studies has gone into the geothermal prospect of Ladakh. It started way back in 1932, like Detera, Tiwari, Mr. Shankar from the Geological Survey of India, NGRI, National Geophysical Research Institute, Hyderabad. Lerida has worked with them, and we collaborated with the DRDO, NGRI, ONGC for these projects. So coming to the Puga Valley, there's a good prospect. It is expected that initially it was a shallow reservoir at level about 2 kilometers. Now it is being estimated that the reservoir is about 5 kilometer thickness, and it is still not clear whether it is being connected to the inner magma or not. So therefore, we need to do more drilling to say about 3 to 4 kilometers down the earth to see the prospect of the temperature gradient. Geothermal system, it is extracting heat from the batholith, that is called the granite. So there are various structures, especially in Ladakh, like Karakoram batholith complex, Shiok suture zone, then Ladakh batholith complex, then Indus Sangpo suture zone, and that there's a possibility of occurrence of partial melt phase, which can be used for generating electricity, heat, and other things. So there's a good prospect of abundance of geothermal resources in Ladakh, and the region is geologically make it favorable to harness geothermal energy, and which is renewable, and it is of low environment impact, and it has low footprint compared to other fossil fuel. When you compare with other renewable energy or the energy sources, it is one of the best source, I can say with conviction, because hydro projects in Ladakh faces the siltation during summer, freezing during winter. Solar energy, that we are going to have a solar mega project of 7.5 billion, 7.5 gigawatt of solar, but it is only during daytime. We need to have a battery storage, we need to have a transmission, we have to have connection to grid. So many other challenges are there. Wind is very erratic in Ladakh. So coming to the geothermal, it can give a base load. You understand, base load. It is a load that can be all the time sustainable, reliable, and perpetual throughout the year, and it is not dependent on the vagaries of nature. So in the end, I will say there are many challenges of infrastructure, technology, and environmental concern, but at the same time, it gives a lot of opportunity for us to collaborate, attract domestic and international players. We have our own entrepreneur and startup companies like Trans-Himalaya Renewable Energy. They have been doing extremely well, and Ritesh is there, who has done a lot of drilling and things. What we need to do is we need to have a policy. Ladakh must have a policy, and encourage our own entrepreneurs and can give employment to thousands of engineers and unemployed youth in renewable energy, because we have the potential, we have the resources. What we require is incentives by the government, policy guidelines, and support from the UT administration and LHDC, which can make Ladakh a example not only in India, for the world in renewable energy, as well as carbon neutral Ladakh, as CC sir has said, and it could be used for all kind of uses like electric generation, space heating, minerals extraction, greenhouse, and agriculture. So all put together, this is one of the best source of energy that Ladakh must use and propel and transform Ladakh into an example for the rest of the world in sustainable development, environmental concern, and for development of society and well-being of all human beings on the earth. Thank you so much.
India 2023 geothermal building bridges. So we have esteemed panels sitting over here today with us, and we will be gathering a lot of knowledge from them in terms of capacity building, in terms of implementation and policy making, and in terms of challenges and what and how to do in the future of geothermal for India. We all know that India has low geothermal energy regions with temperatures ranging from 35 degrees Celsius to 75 degrees Celsius, and one of the highest temperature sites being Puga in India, in Ladakh, sorry. So with clean energy that India is promoting and progressing to look further and to make India carbon neutral in 2070, we look forward to have geothermal as one of the energy mix. As we all know that not only one energy source will not make the whole energy system reliable. So we have to have a mix of energy systems, or different energy systems, and we need to introduce lots of new energy, clean energy technologies, like geothermal, like enhanced geothermal systems, solar photovoltaic concentrators, hydro, etc. With this, I would like to start with Professor S.K. Mehta, who is Vice Chancellor at the University of Ladakh. Since his tenure over here in Ladakh, he has been very active in promoting the university and introducing lots of MOUs with different universities in India and globally too. And he has been advocating lots of research. So we would like to know through him about his long career in the research field, that how in India we can do more in terms of geothermal energy.
As I mentioned in my initial remarks that I was at NGRI yesterday, and they are also organizing 2 days workshop on geothermal, various aspects of geothermal. And there I found that, this is a very important area, I think particularly for Ladakh. So all the teams now from NGRI and other institutes who are working in this area, they are coming to Ladakh and studying Chumaktham and Poga area. So in all lectures they were mentioning this thing. And actually Ladakh is focused, Honorable Member Niti Aayog, Dr. Saraswat also was the chief guest there, and he especially mentioned that our focus is Ladakh because it has, in future we expect that lot of information, lot of work can be done in Ladakh. And as far as this ONGC involvement is concerned, there also a mention came that they were thinking that the drilling equipment was not up to the mark, and they need to bring good drilling machines which can sustain the environment of Ladakh. So that was one thing, and again and again Dr. Saraswat was mentioning that NGRI should work with ONGC involving other institutes, like there was mention of Ladakh, University of Ladakh also, that we should also involve in this project, and intensive planning and work should be taken. And Niti Aayog is ready to fund also in a big way, because they think that this geothermal energy is better than solar energy. Although a big plant is coming up on solar energy in Ladakh also, but then carbon, it cannot be carbon neutral, because a lot of carbon is gases are released in the atmosphere. But geothermal, as far as it is concerned, it's a carbon neutral energy. And the other thing which I would like to mention, that in the DRDO, Director Diyar also showed me that they are also doing some experiment on geothermal energy. They are combining solar energy with geothermal energy. So they are tapping solar energy and some organic solvent they are circulating, for example, digging through the earth. And so both geothermal energy along with solar energy is used to make, for example, a room warm even in winter. So this type of experiments are very, very important. And once such experiments are done and data is generated in Ladakh, I think these can be very, very useful for further use and research also. So I think many possibilities are there, and with the help of administration, LASDC, educational institutes, all to come together and work in this direction in a big way. So university is always ready to do research in these areas. And already, as I mentioned, that we have many MOUs with leading institutes, and NGRI will be coming again on September 19 here, and again we will discuss all these future plans. How can we take this forward to benefit Ladakh particularly? Because we want in Ladakh not only generation of the electricity, but also every home should be is capable of taking common people comfortable. So that is the idea, and I think geothermal energy is the best energy which can be used in this direction. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Mehta. Now, I would request our Honorable Chief Executive Councilor, Advocate Tashi Gyalson, who has, during his tenure, the geothermal energy project development in Puga started during his tenure. So we would like to know what LASDC is doing to develop and switch to clean energy sources in Ladakh region.
We have already initiated few projects in the past. We have signed in a couple of MOUs to harness renewable energy in Ladakh, be it solar, be it wind or geothermal or the hydrogen. So these are few MOUs we have signed, and in Puga we have signed an MOU with ONGC to develop geothermal energy. And then ONGC has already in last to last year they had started the drilling work, but due to some technical reason I think it has to be shut down. Though we told them to get the environmental impact assessment done, which is also a part of the MOU. So initial environmental impact assessment has been done, and then accordingly they have initiated the project drilling work. So, but some technical reasons, there was eruption, so it has to be stopped in between. So since then, the project is now, not moving ahead. So now I think I feel again that we need more in-depth study, and probably some suggestions has come. Whatever we done, in the last 2 years earlier. So probably we didn't do a much research, or probably the machineries which are used during that time was not the right or appropriate machines which supposed to be using to drill the geothermal. So I think that is why I feel that we need more in-depth study, and we need more expert consultation while doing such a major project. So geothermal is 100% for sure. I believe that it's the most renewable thing. But then we need to understand the pros and cons. A one project which is more renewable and sustainable should not lead to another disaster. So that is the more concern. So that is why we need to take things very sensitively. So that is, I thought we should be doing things. In any case, even the solar energy project, which we have signed an MOU with SECI. So there also we have put a condition in that MOU, that environmental impact assessment is the mandatory. So this is now, it is on it. They are doing it. So hopefully, any project I think needs broader consultation, every expert's involvement, because places from Ladakh, places like Ladakh, we have a potential to do things which is more reliable, more sustainable, and we have a now potential to rectify the mistakes which has been done in the past, because we are doing things from the starting. Everything we are doing it now from the scratch. It's everything, whatever any project which we will do in Ladakh will be a new project, and we are doing it from the beginning. So we have a potential to get the best of the best project in Ladakh, best of the best machineries. Funding is never an issue. Honorable Prime Minister of the country has been kind enough to give us huge budget, but the spending in the right direction on the right project, that is more important, and expert consultation, proper planning, proper execution. So these are, I think, required in this newly created union territory. So I think we shouldn't be doing mistakes now. We have a very good opportunity, because we are doing it from the beginning. So get all the good experts, good machineries, have a proper consultation. Think about, Ladakh, the more, Ladakh future, Ladakh's 100 years ahead, how we should be. So those are things, and environmental changes also that is happening around us. We need to take into consideration those things also.
Now I would like to hear from Mr. Takpa. So, Mr. Takpa, based on your experiences working in the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change, and in the Ministry of New and Renewable Energy Projects, which has been implemented in Ladakh, we would really like to know how can not only Ladakh, but how can India in general move towards more clean energy and have geothermal as an energy mix in the system?
Throughout the world, that there's a problem of climate change, and even during the COP21 in Paris, Ladakh's project was highlighted. Ladakh's project was screened there. So everywhere, every country, every individual face the problem of climate change, whether it is personal life, or at the regional life, or the national or international life. You see that climate change is for real. There is no debate on that, and it is creating havoc. And in the form of cyclones, in the form of inundation of the islands, nations, in the form of coastal erosion, in the form of melting of glaciers, in the form of flash flood. And this has been happening not only in India, it is happening throughout the world. And you see that places like Hawaii, this is such an island full of rainfall. It is almost 1/4 is completely wiped out because of the fire. Europe, America, all the places are facing the problem of the wildfire. So now the thing is that whole world has come to the conclusion that if we need to protect the humanity on the earth, we need to take care of the environment, and we have to mitigate and adapt to climate change. So therefore, there is no way but to go into the energy which is clean, which is green, and which is sustainable. So therefore, the only answer to all the problem is going into a system where the energy is completely clean, that is renewable energy. In renewable energy, as I said, the best form of renewable energy is like small hydro, not big hydro, geothermal, and say wind and solar. But other projects has many problems. Other schemes, other sources have problem of the inherent problems. But the geothermal, it is inexhaustible. Just think, 80% of India's power comes through burning of coal. 80% of your energy. You have to heat up the water through coal, generate steam, and run the turbine. If you have a system in which you don't need to have any coal, just use the heat of the earth and make steam and run the turbine. How clean and sustainable it would be. It is inexhaustible, and it is found everywhere on the earth, everywhere, anywhere. We have rocks which has that granitic thermic fluid is there. We have that geothermal energy many places. So what we need to do, the future lies, I said, in the geothermal energy only. Even the technology is available, the infrastructure is available, funding is available. I think that once we go to the this kind of energy, I think the future of the earth will be much, prospect will be much better, healthier. It is impact on the environment and society will be much more better. The most important thing, as CC Saab has said again and again, that we need to do a detailed research. We need to have detailed consultation with the society. We need to have a detailed impact assessment, and also how to manage the impact. It has to be done and must be part of the projects to whom it must be given. And specifically for Ladakh, I would say that impact assessment has to be done by an entrepreneur or a researcher from Ladakh only. I give you an example, sir. There was a project from the Power Development Department, transmission of 220 kVA from Phayang to district. This project, this environmental impact assessment was done by Celestial Earth based in Pune. They never visited, and they made an impact assessment report which was rejected 3 times at National Board of Wildlife, saying that so much of impact they are showing, cutting of forest, so much of debris will be come, and there were so many wildlife will be disturbed. That kind of a impact assessment was done without being, going to the site. So therefore, what I see that I went there and explained everything. That is all wrong. The impact assessment itself is wrong completely. There is no forest will be cutting through the Khardongla Pass. There is not a single tree there. So that kind of impact assessment, and all the impact assessment in Ladakh are mostly done through like that only, cut and paste by a person living in Bombay, Bangalore, and other places. And therefore, this kind of a disaster happens. As you say, you have a problem there in the Puga Valley. And that therefore only person who are working in Ladakh, the researcher, the University of Ladakh, then other agencies that we have of Hill Council, it must be mandatory that it has to be from here only. Otherwise, impact will be, he will just imagining impact and therefore will be disaster. And the project will come to a standstill. You can say that there was a loss of almost 2 years for the ONGC. So had it be that a person who is working here, done here, and work at meticulously, diligently, and understanding the environment of Ladakh, they have to do a impact assessment. Only then they can really understand the system, and they can come up with a management system, how to overcome and manage the impact so that it doesn't have a problem on the environment as well as society and well-being of the people. Thank you.
I've been teaching geology at college since the last 3 years, and I've noticed a pattern that the students here are not interested in studying geology. You know, they compare geology with geography. They think that geology is similar to geography, and if they don't get any other option, they just go for geology, right? So because of that, I've seen a lot of lesser participation of the students of Ladakh in geology, and that's the reason why, since this project is coming up, the geothermal energy outsourcing project is coming up. So what I'm trying to say is, the locals are well aware of the environment, about all the physical and geological aspects of the region, right? So how do we encourage the local students to study geology so that they can be a part of this project, so that, they can, become something, they can become the scientist or something in earth studies. So what do you think that should be done in order for them to participate in this huge project? That's my question.
I find geology one of the most interesting subjects of all that I had. Though it was a small part of my engineering, we have engineering geology. Through that, I have been studying it. Geography was one of my favorite subjects also. But beyond that, if you say science is real science, a real science that you could feel it, you could see it, and you could work on it. And you could see it all around. The main problem that I think the student is not being made aware of it. To be very frank, Ladakh is the heaven for geologists. You can see all the formation of geology in Ladakh, all the formation, and the geological formation gives the history of the earth from the start to end, and how it has gone through various stages. It is all well preserved in geological formation, whether it is Lacustrine Lake. If you see at the end of our, near Spituk Monastery, that Markalaf, that gives the climate change that has happened in Ladakh, how Ladakh was inundated with lakes, and if you go to the lakes, you can see all the formation, different formation, everything is there as a history. And geology is a very dynamic subject, in the sense that everything changes with time, and we have a time scale, geological time scale. Like we have a life cycle of the human being, you have a life cycle of a planet, and in that planet, how it transforms from itself, how it changes its structure from a Pangaea to when all the continent was one. Now it is divided in so many continents, how they are moving and how they will be moving, and the dynamics of it, how the internal convection current of the magma is taking place within the earth, and what are the different layers inside, what is the temperature, what is the dynamics, what is happening, everything you can visualize. You can understand how a mountain is being made. Every four mountain, everything in Ladakh, it is visible. When we were given training in geology, we used to be taken to the Masuri Hill to see, understand the various rocks. Initially, we have to go with the hammer and the spade to take out the overlying, the vegetation and the soil. After that, cleaning so many things that you could see some of the rock side, what rock it is. Here you can see from a kilometer away what is the formation of fault and the fold and the sediments, metamorphic rock, igneous rock, the plutonic rock, the very different valleys, U valleys, U-shaped valley, V-shaped valley, the terraces, all kind of things that you can see so many things in Ladakh. Therefore, what we need to do is we need to inculcate from the beginning at the primary level. Take it to a geological excursion, like we do take it for botanical excursion or the cultural excursion. Take all the students and take them see what they are here in Ladakh. Everything is visible. Once you have interest, then a lot of people will come. And that is required from Ladakh, because Ladakh is the best place for seeing everything by your naked eye. And moreover, the plate tectonics, you are sitting on the plate tectonics. On the other side of the what called river, you have the what called Tithyaceous sediments with so many fault and fall, clearly seen, dark in color. Just on the north side, all this Ladakh range, you know, this all this leucogranites, you know, all are white in color. It's all granite without any fault, everything. So all these things that has to be told to student until you educate the student from the beginning. At the college level or university level, you say take geology, they will think, oh, pata nahi kya cheez hai. It's very difficult for them. They have to educate from the school level. And once you have interest, they can do a marvelous job.
Do you think that it'll be better for for this project for the locals to work? Under this whole thing of geothermal energy outsourcing. Do you think it's better if the locals work on this project?
It is only place, you know, we have resources in the country. We have resources of energy resources. The best energy resources, a different area has different resources. The coastal has the best resource for the wind energy. The coastal has the best for the oceanic and marine resources. The plain area has the resources for coal and other things. What we have in Ladakh, we have the best source of geothermal energy because of its geological and tectonic movement that is taking place. We have the best resources. And where we have to work on the resources that you have. I can give you so many examples why all the geothermal projects in Ladakh has failed. I will name everyone. The Geological Survey of India, way back in 1930s, they have worked 1930s, 1960s, 1970s. You know, they have worked and then gone back. Some written some books, volumes of books, you know, of no use. After that, then came that Geophysical Research Institute, NGRI. They did the methodocuratic, they did the seismic studies, they did chemical analysis, and everything that have gone back. You know, they are nowhere, and therefore GRDO also went back. Then we did the Jammu Regional Laboratory. They also worked and did some work and they ran away. Only then who can survive and do the work is Ladakhi. Madam is the example. And we need to have an army of people who work on the same. And she is the best in the whole, not in India, Ladakh, in the world. She's the only person who has got the this PhD full scholarship. So Ladakhi knows it and they can work, and we can have we have so many students without any job, actually asking for this government job, you know, clerical works. That is not required. We need to have a skill. And skill, we have the resources. We have the resources, work on those resources. It will be good for themselves as well as for the country and for the development of this area. So I think that we need to bring people in geothermal energy, especially because it is sustainable for their employment and for Ladakh. And this is the best I can watch compared to all the renewable energy. Geothermal energy is most sustainable, most reliable, and the cheapest among all. And don't require any storage, whether day, night, throughout the year, 24/7, full year, we have a constant energy. And we have more and more area we to explore and exploit.
To add to that, I would like to say that when she talked about why there is less interest among the students of Ladakh, is because I think that they don't know the potential of resources of Ladakh, actually. I mean, you just go outside and sit there for a while and you will feel the potential of the solar energy. You go a bit further down to the Indus, you see the potential of the great Indus River, which you can tap into hydropower. You go a bit further towards the east and you see the geothermal potential, just growing there, from Mother Earth. So whichever places you go, it's all about locality. And it's all about how you observe and how you see those things. And it's important that while you're walking around, you observe these things like, oh, where am I getting this electricity from? Like for example, this electricity in the room, where are you getting this from? It's from Alchi for the timing, right? And maybe from Srinagar in the winter time. So is that kind of energy good? So say for example, if you're getting it from Srinagar, that means you have to have a transmission system, which is sometimes not reliable. Why? Because we have snowfall in the winter, you can have blackouts, right? Due to loading on the transmission lines. So you need to see these things and you need to know the potential of the area that you're born in. And I'm not only talking about Ladakh, I'm talking about like globally, wherever you are born. Some places do not have geothermal, some places do not have sun. Like Iceland, it doesn't have sun. We crave for sun. So when there is sun, it's literally a holiday. So, yeah. So similarly, like wherever you are, but you should know the potential of that source and you should try to tap it. And how will you tap it as students? I would say till graduation level, you do whatever you do, whichever subjects you do, right? Then you try to enter into professional fields. So you try to see how can you enter into different fields, like who are the companies that are working in Ladakh, with whom you can collaborate, with whom you can do internships. It's not necessary that you have to be an engineer to be in the renewable energy sector, it's really not necessary. I mean, you can be a science student, you can be an arts student, and you can still be in the energy sector. Because energy sector needs people. You need people from accounting, you need people from all the backgrounds, right? So you don't have to feel that, oh yeah, no, I'm not an engineer or a scientist, so I can't be in the energy sector. And you really need to understand that in Ladakh, energy is one of the biggest resources and one of the biggest source of income generation if you are mindful about it. But you're not. Because you see these immediate things like tourism, which provides employment to 60% of the population right now. And it is really not a sustainable source of employment for Ladakh. So you need to go, and this is where your Vice Chancellor has done a really good job, I would say. I really appreciate that. And some of you might be thinking that, why does he keep on going every day out of Ladakh, to random places in India and abroad? Is he just on holiday or what? He's getting you MOUs. Means he's getting your networks. He's getting your networks with all the important scientific institutes in India, all the important research institutes in the global industry. But what you have to do, it's not like every time for him to tell you that, okay, I have this MOU, so you come and do something. No, the MOU is there. That means you are free to go to those institutes, to learn from those institutes, to have people from those institutes as your collaborators, as your research faculty members, So you need these institutes. So they have also done MOUs. We can further do MOUs with ONGCs, etc., the companies, so that you can be the interns over there. Like Honorable CC earlier said that we are doing capacity of local people. We are trying to induct local people. So how you can be engaged is, you don't need to finish your education to get engaged in these projects, You see the solar projects that is going on, a 50 megawatt project, which is just on the way to your university, actually. I don't know how many of you might be aware of it. How many of you have seen that, actually? The 50 megawatt solar? Anyone? Any student? You go there every day, actually. So sometime you find the time, get down there, walk up the mountain, see what is going on that platform, and try to engage with the people who are working over there. And then you come back to your university, talk to your Vice Chancellor. If he is not there, talk to your other staff members. Tell them that, oh, we need to go there. We want you to take us there. We need a field trip over there. Why will they refuse? They will not. Because they just need enthusiasm from you. You know, they cannot always, ma'am, daughter, someone cannot always be pushing you to, karo ye karo, ye bachos, aa bachos. Right? You have to show your enthusiasm. You have to show that you're really interested in these things. And if you need my help, I'm really always ready to help you. If you need any kind of help from me, I'll always be there. You tell me to show Chumata, or you tell me to show Kuga, or any other geothermal field, or anything, I'll show you. And I'll tell you what it is and how much potential we have. You'll be surprised, really surprised to see that. So you have to be aware that you are in a region which is really rich in terms of resources. And you are the future safeguards of those energy resources. And if you don't do that, if you don't safeguard those resources, then you know what will happen, right? Thank you very much.